Unless they are fireproof, they didn't make
Yeah,
it.
they are not fireproof. They didn't make it, bro. They sorry to
Because they ran at the last second, you know, like
they run at the last second, bro.
It's okay.
Caraxes burned those children to smithereens, bro, to shreds, to ashes.
Hello, and welcome to Tumbleton Conference 2026. My name is Ebube, and this is Popcorn for Dinner. We finally made it to the end of House of the Dragon Season 3, and it has been quite the ride. There has been so much for us to figure out, so much for us to follow, so much for Rhaenyra to decide whether or not she's doing, and honestly, we're just glad that Aegon's kicking around because Tom Glynn-Carney is fun to watch. With the Battle of Tumbleton completed, as far as we can tell, we have to pick up the pieces, we have to sift through the ashes, and we have to start asking questions like, how did this battle work out? Is this something that was adapted well from the book? What's everyone going to do now? Is Daemon okay? Is Gwayne okay? What's going to happen to the Northerners now? How's Daemon feeling? All these questions and more today on the show, because we have nothing we would like to do more. I will say, though, that I'm not going to be doing this alone with you because Afam and Soonen are here. And honestly, I think I'm a lot happier to see them than Aemond was to see his brother. So with that in mind, I think it's only fair for us to begin and celebrate the fact that I'm alive.
I'm alive, imbecile. I love that line, man.
That's going to be memed to death. I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of that. It was like Tom Glynn-Carney is actually a national treasure, maybe a global treasure, because when you think about, at least when I think about all the stuff that happened or didn't happen in the context of ye old text here,
the old text. The sacred text.
I can only say that this show could not have hoped. They couldn't have dreamt, literally in their wildest conjurations, for somebody better than Tom Glynn-Carney playing this character, because they took somebody who's like, to me, whenever I think about this story, and I first read it a long time ago, but it's like this person felt like somebody that was just being puppeteered by Alys and Cole, right? So they took that person, made him somebody who had some depth for the audience to somewhat root against in traditional TV fashion, because I guess for them it was like, okay, they want us to support Team Black. The book was always more like, you know, here are two sides of people who are extremely flawed and maybe nobody should be ruling because this whole ruling thing is kind of an issue. But the TV show kind of makes it like, okay, blacks versus greens, good guys versus bad guys. And now in this season 3, they've done so much work to try and make us feel, I guess, that Rhaenyra might not be so much the good guy after all. But I suppose we'll get to that. Either way, they did all this stuff, making Aegon a drunken idiot who could not keep his hands off people who he should definitely have kept his hands off, who was fathering random kids and then pitting them against each other in cage fights, which is all kinds of terrible. You have Glynn-Carney portraying that still with a lot of emotion. And now he's taken this character to a point where there are people rooting for him on the internet. Like I would never have guessed that anybody would have cared about this man, let alone be rooting for him. So yeah, shout out to Tom Glynn-Carney. Yeah. I think that's just the first person that I need to really commend, because wow.
Yeah, he really killed it, especially that scene where he comes across Aemond. If you have siblings and you've ever been in a point where it's time to rub their faces in something, that is just
perfect. Like even from the moment that I mean, just thinking about that landing, right? Aemond is coming out and he's just trying to figure out what's going on. And again, this guy needs to stop walking barefoot around Harrenhal. It is not, stop doing that. But
barefoot and topless.
And then he's like he hears the sounds of a dragon. I think there's a part of him that's wondering if it's Vhagar, but he immediately knows it isn't because that didn't sound like Vhagar. And honestly, in terms of the way they adapted that, I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't think Sunfire was that capable of flight anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
So when Sunfire lands there, I'm just like, oh, Sunfire. Like, I mean, I knew it wasn't Vhagar, but Sunfire, I wasn't expecting you. Hi, how you doing? And then Aegon literally just comes down and starts walking with purpose straight towards this guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's going to happen?
Limping the whole season?
Nah,
he's literally been limping around the whole season.
He limped all the way to him and then just gave him just the loudest slap I've ever heard in my life. Say, I'm alive.
That is like the greatest line delivery, I think, in Game of Thrones history.
Seriously, bro.
Like, I don't think anything
was amazing.
I am alive. Imbecile. The way he says it is just perfect, man.
What do you guys think of that conversation that they have and what it bodes for their future?
I was a little bit surprised at Aemon's reaction and how contrite Aemon seemed. And I tried to see if I could trace that. Like, I know he had been feeling guilty about what he had done. He had confessed to Alicent. But at this point, it felt like he was fully broken down. And I wonder how much of the poisoning and him being reminded that his family has abandoned him was to play in how he approached that.
His family or Alicent? Because for the most part, he didn't care about the rest of his family.
Well, but that was the last. Remember how he kept holding on to, I'm all she has left, right?
Yeah.
But that also came from guilt because it's partly I'm all she has left because I killed the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how much that guilt had eaten at him to the point where he's like, listen, you can kill me if you want, you are the king, I did wrong. That was very interesting to see.
And to be honest, Aemon is a traditionalist, right? He's very kind of by the rules. To some degree, he did try to usurp his brother, but once he sees essentially somebody risen from the dead walking towards him, he just gets on his knees. He's like, okay, I'm cooked. This is it. Like, it's over. And he says, I'm supposed to, I tried to kill you. I thought you were unfit. You have every right to end me. And I thought that was very well done, to be honest, because the way they play off each other in that scene is fun to watch because you're not sure what's actually going to happen. And yeah, Soonen, I see where you're coming from on Aemon's motivation, or at least how that plays into the way the scene actually worked. Because I think there may be people who will see this and be like, this is inconsistent with this guy. Like, this guy is supposed to be the person who is, constantly fighting for the fact that he should be here. I think maybe some people would have expected this confrontation to have been a shouting match between the two of them. Like, of course I tried to kill you. You were completely a disgrace, but that didn't happen. However, I don't know how inconsistent that is. I think to some degree it's fine because, like you said, Aemon is broken down. And on top of that, he has lost his identity to a degree.
Yeah.
He has actually admitted that a lot of the source of his self-confidence comes from the fact that he has Vhagar, and there is no Vhagar. We have no idea if, at least he has no idea if he's going to find Vhagar at the very least, right? So at that point, it's just like, I'm nothing anymore. Like, I don't have anything with which to stand against you. So end me. But I love how, again, Tom Glynn-Carney, shout out. He's just like, no. I'm supposed to enjoy this. And that was great because he's like, why is this not going the way I want? Like, it was
Alys,
such,
man.
Yeah, it was such beautiful blocking, honestly. And I feel like even the moment where Alys comes out and Aemon still has, the strength of mind to be like, that's my betrothed. And Aegon's like, oh, is that so? Like, you can see it in his face. And then he goes from pointing the sword at him to pointing the sword at her. And then he states his terms. And I found his terms so interesting because it's not like he's even saying, let's go and kill Daemon. He said, we'll get Daemon. We will put Ormond in line. And it's just like his whole vibe was, if all of you are ready to stop playing stupid games now, we can go back to King's Landing and set life the way it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it was Rhaenyra, she's like, oh, I'm going to kill that person. I'm going to kill that person. It's like, or if it was Daemon. But he's like, listen, I'm not even trying to cause more casualties to my side. I just need to get home. I'm tired of all this nonsense.
Just have some unity. Yeah.
So, yeah,
But,
I actually feel like Aegon displayed a great deal of vision in this episode, more so than Rhaenyra. And
we'll get to Rhaenyra.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to her because she annoyed me a lot today. But I'm going to say that I'm going to say that the fact that people are now rooting for this guy to some degree is absolutely warranted by this performance. And on some level, it's like they wanted to put all their best writing in the basket of this one guy. And I'm like, because he has a solid arc through the course of the season.
Yeah, but I think Aemon also had a solid arc this season because like, I know you guys disagree with this, but I think Aemon and Daemon are a lot more similar than like...
No, I fully agree with you on that.
Than they are. Yeah, because it's like, if you think about it, last season, Daemon had this similar arc with Alys at Harrenhal. He came out all like family, retrospective, blah, 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 blah. And then this season, Aemon has the exact same arc and they both hook up with their mothers for weird reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maternal eroticism aside. He leaves like he leaves Harrenhal having this real sense of purpose, just like Daemon did. Like
Daemon did. Yeah,
like that Harrenhal storyline. It ended up being a true parallel between the two of them because they both leave that place thinking, okay, my purpose is to serve my sovereign to the death, and they got there in different ways slightly, but this is it. So when we think about the Dance of the Dragons, as far as the book is concerned, and the personalities that these two have, because there's nothing about any Harrenhal retreat self-help happening in the book, right? So
Harrenhal self-help retreats.
Bruh, anyway, the fact that we don't see that is like, but we know these people to be a certain type of person. I feel like now they resemble those characters more than they ever have, right?
Absolutely.
Book Daemon and show Daemon, book Aemond and show Aemond. They now resemble each other in the best way possible. And it now makes me excited for what's going to happen between them if they even get a chance to actually meet and, you know, have a discussion, quote unquote, in season 4. And yeah, season 4 is going to be coming out when, like, it's 2028 or something. We have a week. Oh boy. Yeah, so that was interesting. And you know what, speaking of blocking and speaking of Daemon, I really enjoyed that opening scene with Daemon and Rhaenyra. First of all, shout out to Orwell for somehow still being alive. Once again, I have to keep shouting out this man. Like, if you think about where he started this season,
he's hanging in there, man.
This guy started this season on a literal chopping block.
Literally,
like a literal chopping block in the courtyard. And now he's he's walking in and he's like, I need to see the queen. Nobody's even stopping him. Like, nobody's even asking questions.
Yeah.
It's now a thing of like, when Orwell shows up saying he has an urgent message, you just let him through, right?
Just let him through, man.
He gets there, and I love the fact that Rhaenyra comes into Daemon's room, hyperventilating, saying he is risen. That's what she says, saying he is risen. Like, real
literally. It's so interesting to see how her strategy of saying he was dead, or rather Alicent's strategy, has now come back to bite her, because you've literally told everyone this guy is dead and now he's alive.
And Aemond killed him.
Exactly, which shows that, oh wow, he's actually divine in some way.
And his dragon too, because everyone saw that dragon dead. People were paying money to touch a dead dragon.
Yeah,
bro. Rhaenyra is cooked.
No wonder she was freaking out. She was
like, that was a real... I love how that crash out matched the character. Like, Ormond has his own kinds of crash outs, and then Rhaenyra is just here like, oh my god, Emma's
Literally,
acting is just amazing in the episode, man.
it's 10 out of 10. I think that they've kind of written themselves into a corner because I feel like they've been setting Emma up for that Emmy, but Tom is about to come snatch that shit. With his line delivery. I'm a live imbecile.
He has been fun, but I would just say is you know what? Let me not say that.
No, bro, he's a contender. I can't even lie.
I think he's a contender.
I can't even lie. Second
top contender.
Nah, I can't even lie. I would say he's just second, maybe, to Matt Smith, because that guy is carrying every scene he's in on his back, which is saying a lot because he's not acting with weak people. Bro, everybody is doing an amazing job and Matt Smith finds a way to stand out every time. It's crazy. Like, even in this scene, the dialogue between Daemon and Rhaenyra, the blocking, like the reactions to what the other person is saying. The fact that she goes,
beautiful
Viserys, like,
it doesn't say my father when she said that. Fucking
literally,
Viserys.
that is in my notes. Fucking Viserys, just like that, nothing else. No,
like the show has been listening Viserys to us because it's like, what the heck? Meanwhile, by the way, this is an aside, but Jaehaerys was the real criminal. I'm just gonna say that Jaehaerys was the one who set the real precedent for nonsense behavior. But we don't even have time to explain that one today. What I will say, though, is the fact that Rhaenyra, in this moment of seeing Aegon essentially come back from the dead to bring her retribution, it's like it just makes her go all at once. Okay, you know what, Dad? I've had enough. I've just had enough. Like, your way is not working out for me. It's not working out for Daemon. It's not working out for anybody. Like, I should not have been trying to be like you. And I'm not going to let Aegon come back and say that he is the better version of you or the better version of me. I'm going to destroy him, right? And it's just interesting to me that this is basically the moment where Rhaenyra finally says, we ball. We ball.
Yeah.
Like, just...
That's crazy.
She goes, look out for Aegon's dragons. Root out all the high towers. I'm going to find Aegon and like destroy his heart. And then she looks at Daemon and says, do not make a monster of me. And I'm just like, who are you, bro?
Yeah. It's literally crazy.
She's finally, I think, and I think that is a lot of this episode. She's finally letting go of that desire to be like Viserys and leaning more towards what Daemon has been trying to tell her this whole time, which is you have power. Your power grants you legitimacy. Use your power.
Use your power, yeah. It's so crazy because I was so sure that she was going to do all this after season 1, episode 10 when Luce died. Because I was like, okay, because that look she gave the camera when she turned around, I was like, oh my God, Rhaenyra is going crazy. But she held on for so much longer.
For so much longer, yep.
Held on for so much longer.
Yeah, I mean, in season 2, she was bogged down by... the small council. And the thing about these council scenes is they can be amazing sources of drama and intrigue. They can be amazing ways to move the plot forward. But the council scene is really only as good as the people on it. And Rhaenyra's council this season, most of those scenes is just her and a bunch of people who are annoying or don't matter. Plus all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Alyn is cool. But like, there's no Daemon, right? And there's no call list for most of those scenes. So she just ends up asking the same questions over and over to Mysaria and Torren Manderly and Sabitha Free. And I feel like people are not trying to see those guys, right? So looking at her trying to wield power now, she then does this whole thing that I don't believe she does in this source material, where she's going to essentially force a coronation. What did you guys think of that scene and her conversation with Baela getting there? Because I think that scene with Baela had such excellent characterization. Like, Rhaenyra being called out by someone finally on the way she uses and discards people.
I know.
Right before she discards Mysaria. It's like, okay, so you guys you're writing, right? You understand what you're doing.
Dude, I was yelling at my TV when that happened. I was like, call her out. Call that bitch queen out.
And she says,
call that bitch queen out. Ormond over here.
Literally. It's like, okay, insolence runs in your blood. And I'm just like, as if it's not your blood too. She's
same
your
blood. Are you guys not like cousin, sister, daughter, whatever?
Cousin, stepdaughter. You were going to marry her to your son. Like, relax. So I thought that was very interesting. The way she held Baela's face. I mean, I was like, I was like, don't let Soonen catch you. But
that's my girl, man. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. But
don't let Alyn catch you.
Don't let Alyn
Right.
catch you. Yeah.
Or Adam, either one.
Or even me, self. Don't let us catch you. But yeah,
Oh my
man,
gosh.
that was. It's interesting to finally see that confrontation. I think this is the first time that they've ever talked about what happened at the gullet and Baela's part in it, and. Yeah, it was very interesting to see that confrontation finally get to a head because Baela has been having these feelings for a long time about being used and discarded and broken by Rhaenyra.
Yeah, but what did you guys then think of her immediately turning around to just unceremoniously dismiss Mysaria?
I think that is part of the same arc that we finally seen come to a head for Rhaenyra, which is her getting rid of those vestiges of I'm trying to be like my father, I'm trying to rule through, through a gentle hand rather than an iron fist. And Mysaria was basically the advisor who was constantly in her ear telling her, think of the small folk, think of, the people, rule with a gentle hand rather than an iron fist.
Don't pay the gold cloaks. Bro, it's starting to sound like sabotage. It's like, what kind of advice is this?
Yeah, but I think finally, Rhaenyra has had enough and is like, and she says it in the episode, she's like, what has all this given me, trying to rule like Viserys. So I think that's her finally shedding that, being like, you know what, like, sure, your head game is impeccable, but but I'm tired.
This nigga is a menace.
I'm tired of you whispering all these things in my ear that end up leading to disaster. I'm ready to finally go the Daemon route.
I think that is one of the most stupid things that Rhaenyra has ever done in these 3 seasons.
Wait, it's getting rid of Mysaria? The Mysaria that you say
Mysaria
is a terrible master of whispers.
Yes, because Mysaria should never have been in that position, but now you're turning her into an enemy. Why? Why are you making enemies out of people who are just... And look at what Mysaria did. Mysaria just went to go say one word to our queen, Helaena. Oh my God. I need a moment. Okay.
I know that one was gonna hurt you, man.
Dude, I'm not over that. I'm wearing black, not because I'm team black, because I'm mourning.
Oh man,
I'm mourning.
I'm mourning
queen. That was a lot,
for
man.
The queen.
Yeah, like
so it just seems so unnecessary.
Even when they came, I said the Princess Helaena. I'm like, Helaena is the queen, but okay,
bro. Oh, are you switching sides?
I'm just saying that she was anointed, that her husband was anointed. So I'm just saying that technically by law she is the queen, because that's the thing I'm trying to get at here. Rhaenyra is forcing everybody to twist the law around for her, because obviously she then goes on to try and force an anointing. What did you guys think of that? Because let me just say this: Rhaenyra's crimes in this episode, they're plenty. Like, I'm just going to say, like,
crazy.
She ordered violence at Tumbleton. She forced food down Helena's throat. They didn't even use handmaidens for that. They use brutes.
Kings,
she dressed like Joan of Arc. She forced Joffrey to watch unarmed men get cut down, traumatizing her child.
I know.
Yeah, she was wild.
And the whole time I was even asking, like, what is with this makeup? Like, what is this eyeshadow thing that you're doing? I loved it too. I actually really liked it too. But I was like, this is how you know, okay, so you've become the goth queen now. Like,
yes, because it's kind of like, it's an arc, man. It's going back to the beginning. Remember when she was first coming in front of the people and she was wondering how to dress? She's like, do I take my sword? Elinda Massey is like, no, you don't. This is the culmination of all of that, where that dressing, the makeup, all of that is basically the culmination of her arc, where she's like, this is who I am the dragon queen, and I will act and style myself and behave as such. I loved it, honestly. I loved the costuming, because it shows like I'm here for war. I'm here for battle. I'm not, this isn't a negotiation anymore. Like, either you fall in line or you
die.
or you die. Yeah. Daemon way. Demon time.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Right. But I have to litigate just this, like her strategy here, right? Because she goes in and she actually does something that we hoped she wouldn't do. She kills the High Septon, or rather, she makes Alyn do it. And I can't say I like Alyn being the one to do it, right?
Nope.
And honestly, the man was annoying, right? He really felt he had the audacity to call her princess. It's like, bro, you just expect that somebody who you know doesn't respect your gods is going to protect you in this place.
Yeah.
Like, she literally says to Alyn, "You are the blood of old Valyria. Like, your gods are different from his. To them, this house is just nothing, So what did you guys feel about that scene? Because even from a practical standpoint, you went there to get a coronation and you've just kind of thrown away the one person who could have done it. So what are you going to appoint a new person? Like, that's going, I mean, he said himself, right? That's going to declare war with the Starry Sept.
Yep, pretty much. I think she's at the point where she's fully leaned into that thing of I don't need anyone's legitimacy. I create my own legitimacy through my ability to wield power. And that was her basically being like, you know what? Forget all this other stuff. I'm going to lean into that. I'm going to create my own legitimacy.
Yeah. That's why Viserys will hate her for doing all this nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. And Helaena mentions it as such, like Viserys would hate who you've become. Yeah.
You ugly fuck. That being said, she looked good in chainmail, though. I'm not gonna lie. I saw Rhaenyra in like chainmail and the crown.
Oh,
and
you were feeling a little something.
I was like, okay, your grace.
This is all works for you.
Hey, man.
10-4.
Hey, get some chainmail and Afam could be yours.
So the next thing that actually really bothered me about the whole Rhaenyra thing, and this is why I said she really bugged me in this episode, is why? Why are you talking about the prophecy in public to people who cannot understand it? Like, I was so mad because this is how you know somebody has become desperate. First of all, these people don't believe in your Valyrian gods. Manjli and Orwell are looking at each other like, has she lost her mind? What is she talking about?
Yeah.
So now you look like some kind of crazed despot. And the funny thing is, when Mysaria then showed up with her hood, because once that commotion started, random commotion clearly was created just so Mysaria would escape. Okay, but I thought the things were about to get even more interesting, to be honest. I was low-key disappointed. I thought she was going to show up and start heckling. To start, like, maybe the crowd shouting at Rhaenyra and saying, like, I expected some kind of, commotion there as sort of retaliation, because I do think Mysaria is that petty. But I guess that's not what happened. Instead, she's just, I guess, an enemy of Rhaenyra now. So is she just going to be in hiding in King's Landing? Because I don't think Rhaenyra will have the wherewithal to ask, did Mysaria make it to to the mermaids?
I mean, if she doesn't, then that's just poor planning on her part.
It is poor planning, and that's what I'm saying.
Someone
I feel like
that
she will have poor planning.
that literally helped undermine the previous administration on your behalf is running around, and you don't know where they are. Probably should find out.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad move, and I don't know, man. Like the whole King's Landing thing, I'm glad we got to see Joffrey doing something, right? And, we have...
standing around looking sad.
Basically. It's like, oh, they woke me up for this.
Yo, he has been sleepy. Joffrey had jet lag.
Literal jet lag, bro. But, sort of closing off on Rhaenyra, what do you guys think of that last conversation she has with Helaena, where Helaena says, our father would hate you for this? Helaena has some serious bars in this episode, right?
Yeah,
because when she says that,
ugly.
Yeah, when she says that, like, Rhaenyra says, and yet he did nothing to prevent it, which made me, I was just thinking, wow, so she's really on the anti-Viserys train now, right? She's not going to be glorifying him anymore.
Yeah.
And of course, Helaena going on to say all the things you care about are ugly. This place is ugly. You yourself, ugly. And I'm like, wow. Helena's characterization is very interesting compared to how they did things in the book. Because obviously the circumstances around her jumping are different there. Son for a son happened, and then she was distraught. They beheaded him. Then those guys told Milo, your mom wants you dead. And then Jaehaera is just there. So now she has just the two of them. Then they tried to spirit Milo out of the city after King's Landing gets taken.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then Rickard Thorne, Alicent's protector, is there with him. Some random people see them when they reach some weird town or whatever. And those people are like, oh, we can use this. We should send his body back to Rhaenyra. We should do, like, the circumstances are unclear, but basically the boy gets torn apart.
They killed him,
and Helaena ends up seeing his head in a box later on. Or in a chamber pot or something like that. And that's kind of what makes her go completely like off the rails, and she ends up jumping that way. So in the show, we don't get Milo. She doesn't end up having that baby, but we do see her continue to have dreams of what may happen if she does have the baby. So in this case, her jumping is informed by circumstances surrounding that child and circumstances that could surround the child.
And Mysaria as well.
And Mysaria as well. So it's like, okay, what do I do? Because it was so clear, like the death flags were clear when like Helaena is being walked back into the castle and then she runs into Mysaria of all people. And those ridiculous guys just allowing Mysaria to talk.
I'm like bro, that's so dumb.
What do you mean?
Incompetence.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I feel like
R.I.P.
Helaena, I think she actually went out on her own terms. So I think that's something that anyone who cares about that character can be happy with. It's not like she was just dumb bad. She was like, I'm done here. And what did you guys think about the stuff that she had stitched into the tapestry? Which, as I said, she's been the one doing the tapestry in the opening sequence this whole time, right?
This whole time, But what does that mean for the opening sequence going forward?
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to do a new one?
That'd be interesting.
Because season 1 had a different opening sequence. Season 2 and 3 had this tapestry thing.
It was blocks, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
season 2.
Season 2 was still the blocks.
I think season 2...
Or was it the tapestry?
Season 2 and 3 were both the tapestry. I
think it was tapestry, just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, because we saw Rhaenys's death in tapestry.
Yes.
In season 2.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like, what happens? What are we going to do? What's left to us? But I guess we'll figure it out, or somebody will figure it out. Maybe Alyn will figure it out as he's trying to decide how to discharge his duty.
Him killing the High Septon was very surprising to me.
Yeah, it was.
He's telling people he's the once and future Lord of the Tides. It's like, okay, so you have aura now, right? This is what you have become.
Yeah, homeboy's just trying to seize power.
You can even see the way Adam looks at him.
Yeah,
that was
Adam is looking at him like,
bro, yeah, still remember where you came from. You know?
Yeah, like Alyn was just showing Audacity at the shore. He showed it at the sept. That scene with Adam as well, and even the way Alyn is almost. I don't want to say dismissive of like Baela's situation, because Adam is like, oh, Baela has been confined, and then Alyn is just like,
I thought that was your babe, bro.
No,
I know.
I was like, what's going on? You don't care?
I thought that was your babe. You didn't even care. You didn't even say, oh, let me go and check on her.
She leave for a brother. Oh, don't forget his hair is long.
Yeah,
I found it very disappointing. That's why you got always go for the lover boy, man. I was like, you guys always go for the lover boy.
Speaking of lover boys, man, Sir Gwayne has had enough.
Poor guy.
Gwayne was so done.
Before we get to Tumbleton, I think who is Alys?
Alys is supposed to be the wife
of Harren Hoare.
Of Harren. No, I know, but like, how is she alive? Like, how did it just
she's
like
a witch?
Well,
she's been around for 150 years.
So she's actually a witch. I thought they were saying she's not a witch.
Apparently.
No, but that's huge.
crazy.
But she's bound to
That's
the castle.
huge.
It seems she can't leave.
Yes, not just the castle. She's bound to the Riverlands because remember, she does go to Riverrun, right?
That's true.
To do what she may or may not have done.
And she convinced Aemon to make this place his seat.
His seat.
Because I'm sure in his mind, partly is like, okay, why can't we just take King's Landing back? But she's like, yeah, I can't go there.
I can't go there.
Yeah, I literally can't. But it sounds like she made a deal with, she said things that lived in the forest. So perhaps the children of the forest, perhaps the green men, she made some type of deal with them to try and save one of her kids. And it didn't really work. But she also got, cursed as part of that deal to live forever and not be able to leave the Riverlands.
Is she Melisandre?
Yeah, a little bit. Water or mud Melisandre.
Mud Melisandre.
Yeah,
I was just curious of your thoughts on that.
Because that literally makes her like 150 years. I mean, because people have been trying to decide. I think even the theorists that wrote the in-world history book that is the source material feel she's like a bastard of House Strong or something, or either one that was born after Lionel or maybe before Lionel or something. But nobody seems to really know how old she is, and I guess nobody really sticks around to kind of check. Like everybody who could say something is just conveniently not around. So to hear that she's been around literally since Balerion burned the castle, and that she and her child survived. Wow.
Or is she crazy and that's just not true? Is that a possibility?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't think so, because I'm fully sold on this baby's not normal. So
she's a little touched.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. So I feel like there are a lot of people who have been down this season. They're trying to get up. They're trying to figure things out. And she's one of them. I think she's become a rather sympathetic character. I think Gail Rankin has been able to really give Alice Rivers a solid amount of depth. And grateful for that. It's really cool. And I will say, just as we kind of get into Tumbleton, which is where like a lot of crazy stuff happens in this episode, obviously, clearly they were building up to a lot of this stuff. I just want to say that the people who are not necessarily highborn, or maybe not, even some people who are highborn, but like not so highborn, right? People like Elin Damasi, these are really great characters to have in the show, right? Because Jordan Stevens brings a real personality to that role, which is a lot to be said for a character that barely has any dialogue. Like, she has dialogue, but like not that much. But I watch, episodes and I see Elin Damasi and it's like, you know what? I believe you. I believe you. Like, I fully buy your struggle. And it's fun to see. And honestly, I will say that this episode was written in an interesting way. Like, this was written by Ty Mickle and Ryan Condal. And I believe Ty Mickle is one of the writers of at least one episode on United Seven Kingdoms. So that's an interesting collaboration. I think so. I may be wrong. But yeah. And then the episode was directed by Andrew Parek, who is very good at these battle episodes. Like like I said, Lonnie Perister, Andrew Parek, Miguel Sapochnik. You see names like that and you know, okay.
Battle is about to be some hands thrown.
Yeah,
it's about to be some hands thrown.
And there were definitely hands. And speaking of characters who are like I said, not so highborn, Tom Bennett as Off. Like, honestly, great work in this episode. This is why they don't let Off drink. This is why they don't let Off drink.
This is why he was confined to his quarters, not a single ale with the lads.
Yeah, I mean, the guy went
end up inside toilets.
They let this, like, what? How do you, in fact, you know what? I don't even want to start there, but it's just like, how? How do you get so drunk on a day that you're on the cusp of getting everything that you said you've been wanting this whole time? And then you fall asleep, you pass out on the toilet drunk. Like, dude.
It just shows you who he is, man. Yeah. He's not a reliable person.
Yeah, he's not a serious person at all.
He's not a serious person.
I know some people will be like, oh, it's not plausible that somebody like that somebody would make such a mistake. I would argue it is. I think that is the point. They're trying to show that this guy doesn't think far. But at the same time, when we think of people who don't think far, how is it that Ormond didn't station people to be with this guy? Like, the fact that Ormond himself is running around Tumbleton, where's Off the White? Where's Off? Like, they're all shouting, looking for him. And then, the true colors that, Ormond showed, where he treats him even worse than Daemon ever did. Worse than Rhaenyra ever did. Like, beat him in the street, hit him with a gauntlet. Like, and then Up is just there looking like, okay. All right,
I'll get you.
I got something for you.
But it was so justified because, like, they're all about to die. Like, sir, where are you? You're the ace of the whole.
No, he doomed them. You know this, right? Like,
yes,
he fully doomed them because
I don't think the Riverlands army would have attacked if they knew that Off was there. I don't think any of this was supposed to happen the way it did.
No. This
Definitely.
was without
Chaotic.
a doubt the most chaotic episode of like Game of Thrones history, because it was just like nobody won this episode. Like at the end of nobody won. No, or maybe Aegon a little bit. But other than him, nobody else won. Someone's clearly inspired by that line.
Oh man, that's my best line this episode.
It's like literally the best line delivery the whole episode. I'm so sorry.
I say the whole Game of Thrones. I'm telling you, not just this episode. Games within games within games within chaos within chaos. And
Aegon wants people to stop playing games.
No, I know. He's a serious man now. A very serious man. I feel like this episode retconned episode 7 to be better for me. Just
really?
because
How
of
so?
like, I don't know how to describe it, but just like, because I feel like there's been a lot of discourse of like, was episode 7 good or not? And to me, I was like, meh. But this episode, like, I don't want to say it justified the things that happened, but seeing how some things played out, especially Tumbleton. I think episode 7 got me worried about how Tumbleton was going to be executed. But I was there as someone who is familiar with the source material, knowing, having some ideas where the story is going, being like, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And that like feeling was almost like, how Civil War made Age of what's the movie for Civil War?
It was
Age of Ultron, whatever,
Ultron,
better. Yeah. So it's like that retconning. So I liked episode 7 a little bit more now because I really like this episode.
Yeah. I thought this was a fun episode to watch. I think there was a lot of emotion. Like this, even within all the chaos, you could see such interesting character work being done, right? I'll start with Gwayne because, like I said, he's had enough.
Oh.
Like right from the beginning, when we see Ormond and Daron in the Footly Stronghold, and they're in their normal living room that they've been in this whole season. And then Gwayne is getting dressed up in his armor, and Ormond is telling Daron, there, you have to get knighted, and Gwayne is just there like, oh my God. Like, he's so tired, bro. Gwayne literally has had enough. And I love how when Daron asks him, how are we going to face these guys? He just says bravely and pointlessly.
And pointlessly, honestly.
It's like, what are we doing here? Like, we don't need to fight these guys. And it's crazy because even Daron actually even goes on to say, because when he sees that Ormond and Roxanne are crashing out, Ormond especially, Daron is like, something is wrong. And Gwayne is like, yeah, something is wrong. We're all going to die. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, he does, like, honestly, Freddie Fox, hats off to him. Because even when they go to get Corlys, right, from that cell that he's in, and he's just like, and Corlys is trying to talk, and he's like, oh, I'm not, and he's just like, shut up. Yeah, it's hilarious. I think it's just even funny on a meta level that the richest house is being used by the second richest house to entreat with the ruling house to prevent a battle that nobody should be fighting.
And nobody should be fighting that fight. Oh my God.
Yeah, because which, by the way, Gwayne introducing himself to Daemon is interesting to me.
Have they never met?
Because they have.
They have
met in season 1, episode 1.
Episode
Daemon,
1. They
unhorsed him in a joust.
Yep.
Okay, but
in the very first episode of the show, like Daemon
though.
is looking for who to joust against, right? And he, in order to spite Otto, like he looks right at Otto and then says he's going to choose Sir Gwayne Hightower to joust against, and then he unhorses him. And Otto is obviously like annoyed by this, but yeah, different actor played him at the time, and we didn't see the face because Gwayne was wearing a ridiculous Hightower helmet at the time. 20 years ago, things were different, okay? And now it's like, I'm Sir Gwayne Hightower. Well met. And I'm like, you have met. But to be fair, I guess they've never had any dialogue scenes. So maybe the writers felt the need to do that. But I feel like they should have trusted the audience to remember that these two people
they
met.
met,
yeah. Anyway, it was also funny seeing in that scene that, Gwayne is actually small. Like, it was, I couldn't help but think that because he was standing there next to Daemon and next to Corlys, and then like, even next to Roddy the Ruin, and everybody's walking around him, and then he's just like literally shot at all of them, but he's holding a knife to Corlys like, stick him up, see?
that was such poor planning, in my opinion. Like, you are literally, this is the only card you have to play, and you haven't thought about what would happen if
they
it
said
didn't
no.
go your way. You're like, come on, man.
But like, they're going to die anyway, so like, it's worth, to me, I felt like it was a worthwhile gamble, and I think Corlys's proposal just made sense. So why are these people being stupid? Like, it would just have made a lot of sense. Give them fucking Old Town, let's unite our armies, nobody dies here, we can kill Ormond or whoever, and then we just go on with our lives. But no, Rhaenyra has gone crazy. We have to kill everybody.
Can't be that way. Nope.
And it's still lost.
The truth is the fight had to happen, because even if you put aside Ulf and his nonsense, even if you put aside Gwayne's plans, there's the fact that the Northerners were there, and Daemon, those Northerners, they were not leaving without a fight. Like 100%, they were not leaving without a fight. And if anybody knows how to give a rousing speech, it's Daemon. I actually love that they adapted. I think the book mentions a frightening, like really guttural Northern war chant that they did.
That was really
and they
good.
fully adapted that, because I remember watching that thinking, wait, what are these guys doing? Like, and then I was like, oh, these guys are actually like, this is what they came for. Like, these guys are here to have fun. Can you imagine what it would have been like to see these guys at Fish Feed?
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Don't get so
That's what I'm saying.
Don't get so good.
Oh man,
I think after watching this episode, I
that.
actually get it now. Like, after watching this episode and seeing it, I'm like, okay, this could have been
Thank
mad.
you. Look at hands, bro.
Because
look at battle scenes.
Getting into the episode and seeing Oscar Tully, whom we know, but also seeing Roderick Dustin, seeing Alison Blackwood. Like, we could have seen these guys at Fish Feed. They could have been named in a way that was interesting. And maybe, honestly, they had an episode like that prepared, but then they had to cut it after what happened with season 2 and making it 8 episodes instead of 10, which I still stand by. That's what happened.
That's what happened for sure.
So, in any case, Alysanne doesn't miss, like, go Black Alley. Oscar Tully is also very interesting because he clearly has like a lot of personality. Like, I really love what Archie Barnes is bringing to that role. Like, every scene he gets, like, it's like, okay, these guys are doing something, right? And I like the chance that we got to know them. I just wish we got the chance to know Black Alley a bit more. I feel like when she killed Cole, most viewers were like, wait, but who's that? Like, why are they showing her so much? So I, in any case, like, we mentioned the reason the Winter Wolves are around, right? Like, it's not just that they're looking to fight, it's that they have no intention of going back to the north because they want to die so that they don't become extra mouths to feed in the winter. Like, apparently this is just a thing that those northern men...
It's a thing that they do,
so it's a thing that they do.
That's very
so
very
they go to the wall,
right?
or they just go out and say they're going hunting and they just kill themselves and never come back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And honestly, we saw the Battle of the Gullet. We enjoyed the Battle of the Gullet to all the degrees that we could. And we felt like that was one of the, maybe if not the best battle sequence we've seen in the show. Would you guys say this Battle of Tumbleton tops that in any way? Because I think this was an incredible battle sequence. The way they even adapted the Northerners running to the gates, to the city walls.
It was beautiful.
It was so well done. The tension was built so well. You could literally, like, somebody's head got cleared by a rock. They had the oil and the rocks on ladders. Like, Roddy Dustin, he gets over the city walls And then he's killing people. And then these little boys, by the way, that they...
Yeah, that just shows how much of a scumbag Ormond is.
Yeah, and then he, one of them hits Roddy in the leg and he looks at him. And then he just axes him in the face.
I thought he was going to use his shield to knock him out.
But I realized, I've been thinking about something. And I realized, you know what? That had to be done from his perspective. Because he did not like what was being done there. That they were using these literal children that aren't even Hightower affiliated as meat shields. It was terrible. But I realized something about the Northerners, right? They have to honor the people that they meet on the battlefield. And I think to him, it's like, okay, this boy had the courage to hit him and not just hide.
Yeah, so you're going to die a warrior's death.
Yeah, like you're here being, like, this is a battle and you've come to fight, that I'm going to treat you like an opponent on the battlefield. It's as simple as that. And it occurs to me that they really painted the Northerners in this episode like Vikings, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found that very interesting. I'm like, I don't know if we've had this picture of Northerners in this way so far. I think they tend to be a little bit more stoic than this. But I like this, honestly, because these are supposed to be the rowdiest of the Northerners, like the ones who have nothing to lose. So I think this different direction was kind of interesting. I think some people may feel like it was a bit cartoonish, but I think it was okay. I think it was actually really good characterization, especially for Roddy, because because remember he didn't say in episode 1 that they came to fight for the Dragon Queen. He said, we have come to die for the Dragon Queen. So when Daemon is asking, he's like, oh, are you still prepared to die for our queen? And he's like, I can't wait. Like, so I'll be here like, can we start? And he's like, okay,
and
get over the
even
gates,
after
open the gates and then die.
Even after I get into the city, he's like, well, we've gotten in, I was still alive. And
then
literally all the
That is, I've never seen people try to die that badly before.
I was like,
man.
yo, you guys...
those guys were ready, man. They were ready to go.
Even after he stabbed Ormond, the proper northern fucking, and he saw the dragon coming, he was like, yes!
He was just ready to go. A proper
that guy enjoyed
northern
himself
fucking,
way
man.
too much.
Just he's like Kristen Cole. Kristen Cole will be proud
you know
of
what
him.
they say, if you die doing what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Is that what they say?
No, maybe in the north.
That's not what they say.
That's not, maybe in the north, that's what they say.
Oh my God. Well, we can't sue you for that. So I guess we'll just have to let it go and accept that that's what at least somebody says. But you know what? Speaking of somebody who loves what they do, bro, Caraxes is so fun to watch. I have to say.
Caraxes is a G.
Caraxes is a unit.
A G.
Because
the way he busts his
like
head.
Daemon looking at this gate and it's like, okay, it's not opening. And then it's just like Caraxes, and then Caraxes just starts coming. And then everybody's clearing the way and it's like, Caraxes just knew. It's like, yeah, I don't even have to do anything. I have to fly. Like, just the reach of those jet streams of fire. Like, bro, I looked at that distance and I was like, this dragon is serious, bro. Like,
Caraxes is my favorite dragon, 100%. I love that motherfucker so much.
I love how the dragons have personality, and Caraxes is a real one. Like,
a real one. The way he busts his head through the door after burning it was like a horror movie. Just
everybody there played that thing poorly, because it's like, you guys saw what just happened to this gate. There's only one way that could have happened, and you're all just still standing here. What are you expecting to happen next? Nah, that was
I guess
just
we'll find out
It was
on the next
funny
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
And to be honest, right, like, speaking of dragon personalities, we saw Silverwing kind of just chilling, waiting for what to do. Same thing with Vermithor. And we didn't really see Hugh, quote unquote, like he wasn't betraying anyone, right? But he was kind of like not following orders, right?
He was supposed to be in King's Landing, right?
They told him to guard King's Landing and support Rhaenyra and what she was doing, because you don't know what's coming. Like, for all they know, Vhagar could suddenly show up. Sunfire could suddenly show up, right? So they kept Hugh there, but he's like, nah, I need to get up and find my wife. And it's like, bro, you handled everything so poorly. I'm so sorry, Hugh. I feel for you, but I hope you know that this is your fault. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Just saying.
I don't know why Kat didn't leave with him. I don't know. She
How
should have left.
They could all have left. Why couldn't they have family left too?
Yeah, but I feel like it just felt like she was determined to stay no matter what. And I just was like, the fact that there had to be some communication breakdown between them, because like there's no way I can't leave my family, and he shouldn't say, okay, bring your family like that.
But that's the thing, he wasn't saying that. He was actually really saying, he was telling her to leave them. He was trying to drag her away, just her.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't see why they couldn't all have gone. It felt like a pointless death to me. I don't know how. I don't know. I feel like they could all have gone somehow.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
I mean, how would they have all gone?
The same way he went
through the secret.
So there are like 5 of them. He has come in and out multiple times, so he can just say, "Okay, I'll take everybody out, and I'll take you last." So that way, you can be sure that everyone is out when I come and get you.
I thought he went in and out once too.
It was only once, as far as I know.
Oh,
yeah, I believe it was in episode 6, and then he tries to have this discussion with her. It doesn't end up working out. Or was it in episode 7? I'm not sure. But yeah, they have this discussion, and she's like, "I don't recognize you." And he's trying to force her to leave, and then she says she's not leaving her. He could have at that point offered to take her family too, but he just didn't. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, there's clearly something wrong with you, because you're like, this is bad planning. And on top of all
that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, like on top of all that, he's now running in with a pickaxe during the battle. And he's like, cats, like, cats. What do you mean? What you're shouting? Like, what are you talking about, bro? You know where first of all, I don't even know how he found her house the first time. But you know where that house is now. Go there. You're shouting cats. I mean, sure, she may not still be there, but like, you're just drawing attention to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's so
I don't know.
unfortunate.
And I
so
love
much
that
chaos.
Daemon saw that. That's interesting detail that they showed us Daemon seeing this.
That's true. Daemon did see him,
because clearly there will be aftermath for this, and I'm guessing they're setting up some kind of confrontation between Daemon and Off and Hugh, because because now, right, Off is my thing with Off is like, first of all, him shouting Dracarys was just hilarious.
It was like, very funny in that King's Landing accent. I loved it.
And then like obviously as he's seeing Ormond, like I know some people will probably be like, okay, like is it really possible for him to have seen Ormond from that height? And then some people try to litigate that. I mean, I think that it probably is. I mean, Ormond's armor is different from everybody else's, and he has an idea of where he would be based on the plan that they had.
Yeah,
but then him coming down and then just going, fuck you too.
You too. And the fuck you too isn't just to Ormond, I think. It's also to the entirety of Tumbleton.
Yeah.
Because then he goes to burn the city. Yeah.
What does he want?
I think he was just annoyed after being beaten.
And he was drunk.
And he was drunk. Or hungover at the very least.
Yeah.
And not just that, imagine what that does for Rhaenyra's.
That's what I'm saying, right? Because she said, do not make a monster of me. But now, a guy that is on her side, technically, people don't know he's turned, right? And even if they know he's turned, they're not going to care. They're just like, oh, one of your guys did this.
Dragons burned the city.
Yes.
And there's only one person who has all the dragons right now. They burn children, Even, I'm thinking about those children that were standing at the gates, right? The last two that didn't run away. And I was thinking, what are you guys trying? Like, you guys, there's no employee of the month here. But then I realized later, it's probably just people react differently. And some children, their own reaction would be to freeze. So
I don't think those kids were brave or anything. I think they
literally just froze. And that is so sad, man. Like, I really feel for them.
That's the end of Rhaenyra's whole, I'm a magnanimous queen narrative. It's now just, you're a bloodthirsty tyrant, Maegor returned, as she was always afraid of.
Maegor with teats.
That's the book term for it. But yes, Maegor returned, Maegor with teats. Basically, this has destroyed that entire narrative for her.
So in the end, Tumbleton really was just reduced to ash.
It was chaos, man. It was chaos.
After everything.
Completely destroyed. It didn't matter that, the Northerners and Rivermen were asked to be very gentle and, root them out house by house. Off basically destroyed that whole plan. It went
So
up
is it all Ulf's fault? Does everything come down to Ulf, or are there other factors here?
I'd say there are other factors, such as Ormond using the children as human shields. It doesn't matter. People have seen children getting killed. It doesn't matter what happened. Then also Caraxes burning the children at the gates.
Well, I mean, they escaped. I mean, those last two, I hope they made it. I hope
they didn't make it.
They did not make it.
They didn't make it.
I've been trying to convince myself that they made
No.
it, but I know they didn't make it.
Unless they're
They
fireproof, they didn't make it.
Yeah, they are not fireproof. They didn't make it, bro. They sorry to say,
because they ran at the last second, you know, like
They didn't run at the last second, bro.
It's okay.
Caraxes burned those children to smithereens, bro, to shreds, to ashes. But yeah, so I mean, I think at this point, right, Rhaenyra has styled herself as I'm the one with the dragons.
Yeah.
And the city has been burned to the ground.
By dragons.
Obviously, it's the fault of the person with the dragons.
Dude, Rhaenyra is I'm so stressed, bro. Like, literally, even her speech, bro,
man.
It will just remind me of all these Hitler speeches I've seen. And she started speaking Valerian. I'm like out here being a super Nazi.
Valerian to a crowd of small folk. I'm like, what are you doing?
Imagine them. They're like, yo, not only have you just killed the High Septon, right? Who these people, like, that's their religion. Then you come out and you're talking about some ancient Valerian prophecy. You're basically distancing yourself from
you are
these
showing
people.
that you're everything they said you were, like
Exactly.
incestuous aliens.
Exactly.
Incestuous aliens, dunk.
Interlopers. But also, Helaena is dead. Because if people are saying Aegon is back and now the queen is dead, they're going to be like, you killed her.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, man. She has no other choice than to go full makeover on these people, man. She's painted herself into the corner, and events around her have also pushed her further into that corner.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see. I'm definitely excited for this turn next season and how she's going to wield, you know, this new dispensation she has.
There's actually someone else that I want to shout out, because throughout the season, there has been this feeling that we haven't been able to shake, just from the atmosphere that the show brings, and it's partly because of this amazing ostinato that could only have been done by Ramin. Cooking in this episode throughout the season, but this episode especially, I was like, this music is so beautifully stressful. like the music was stressing me out. It's crazy. And it was done in such a quiet way as well, like right down to that last moment where Rhaenyra closes the window and ends the season.
Yeah,
that was great. And I feel like all the music was evocative, and it really helped
people going.
It really helped the line deliveries. It helped, you know, the battles, like the production, like everything was working together in such great harmony. You know, the production people, obviously, they do such an amazing job. Like, I remember, like, the special effects people, for example, in episode 7, that was a Guinness World Record that they broke and set.
Oh, really? What was the record?
23 live burns on real, because you know, all the fire in this show is practical, especially the dragon fire. So there's a lot more. They've been doing that since Game of Thrones, but now with all the dragon fire that they actually have people, like stunt people, that they burn, I guess,
alive.
Yeah. they burn them and they set them on fire, and then they put out the fires and everything, and those guys get very well compensated.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's interesting because 23 people, that's literally the highest ever. So that's interesting. And they wanted to do, because they knew that, they had 20 guys, like, if we add 3 more people, that's a record.
3 more, we set a record.
And I'm like, okay, sure, guys. Raleigh Earlham is a crazy guy. That's the stunt coordinator for this show, and he was also the stunt coordinator for Game of Thrones.
Shout out to them. Really,
honestly,
really, really good.
So I guess looking to the future, before we get into the Adaptometer and close off, what can we make out from what Helaena stitched? And what can we now expect? Like, we've already talked a little bit about the aftermath of Tumbleton and what may happen at the beginning of next season. But what would we say is Rhaenyra's next move after this? Because I feel like there's a past version of Rhaenyra that would hear about what happened at Tumbleton and be like, oh, are you crazy? Like, are you guys serious? How could you watch this? But now I feel like she's just going to be like, yeah, oh, well.
Well, it's not oh well because she doesn't have Tumbleton. They retreated. So they have to go back and take it.
Exactly, there's that. So I'm saying she'll be like, oh, well, as in, oh, people died. Oh, we lost people.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh, off-turned. Well, I still don't have Tumbleton though, so I guess you guys are gonna have to go back.
Yeah, they don't have Tumbleton. They don't have Harrenhal.
But what Tumbleton is there to have anymore?
Remember
there's no Tumbleton
that
left to
Lady Frey is headed to Harrenhal because Rhaenyra gave it to her in the last episode.
Yeah, but like they don't have it like in terms of not yet, stronghold.
Yeah, they could get cooked in the process.
They don't have the Stormlands. They don't have the Stormlands as in the Baratheons. They don't have the Lannisters. So like, she has a lot to do.
Yeah, she has a lot to do. She definitely has a lot
to do.
Yeah, truly. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about the season as a whole. I'm thinking about where it's like all the different beats and where people could be heading. Like, I'm wondering what Mysaria is going to try and do because obviously now she's been scorned. And yeah, as we said, the tapestry was going crazy all season. It's not even just in this episode. Like, I love the new additions that we saw in this episode. The mutants turning black from being burned by Aegon and Sunfire, who were also on fire.
That was very good addition.
That was nice. That was actually very nice. And like I said before, I wonder if there's going to be a new title sequence now since the maker of the tapestries is no longer with us. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I feel like we, like you said, this is Rhaenyra in a new dispensation. So, yeah, I feel like we're just going to have to wait and see. Honestly, I don't know exactly how they'll play it. I'm thinking also about Daemon's state of mind because his battle with Roxton was a lot.
Ooh, he got cooked.
Roxton was beating his ass.
He really was. Like, because Daemon normally is cutting through people like butter, but first of all, he and Roxton both wield Valyrian steel swords, which is great.
Yeah,
and Roxton is actually one of the few people we've seen in any of these shows who fights with a great sword. Like, he's not using a long sword. He's not using a bastard sword. He's using a full-on great sword. Like, the man is huge.
Yeah, that's a big ass sword. He just felt like a big presence.
Yeah, and he was physically more imposing than Daemon as well. Yeah, so it was so interesting to see Daemon going from bullying Gwayne to getting bullied himself.
Yeah,
yeah, that is very true. And actually, speaking of people getting bullied, do you guys think Darren is okay?
Dude, I love Darren and Gwayne's relationship so much. It was like,
my
boy.
It was
my
so
boy.
Great.
I was like,
that's his son. That's his baby.
Literally, when he said it, I was like, man, you guys know what you're doing here. Like, Freddie Fox, I hail you. Truly, I hail you. Because
so
he says
you're going to have to go through me.
I would rather die than let you.
And he would have died.
He loves that boy more than that's his son. That's his son,
bro.
Alyn literally said, "Oh, like, hey, can you please raise my son for me?"
Honestly, I think he's the best. I love Helaena, but Darren is the best out of all of them. Out of all of Viserys' children, he's the best.
100%.
He would. I feel like if he would have been a king like what's his name from A Night of the Seven Kingdom,
Baela?
The one who died, Baela. He would have been like Baela, like that kind of good king,
Yeah.
I fuck with that kid so much.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. It's sad.
Do you think?
I think he's okay
at the
personally.
Cost of breaking my heart, you think he's okay? Okay.
I think his dragon would have protected him.
I need that.
I think his dragon would have protected him. I think they probably made it out somehow. Maybe just nobody saw them leaving. So I guess we're just going to have to figure that out.
No, but he was in front of Gwayne when Ulf burnt them. So his dragon couldn't protect him in that case.
Yeah, because the dragon was in that basement.
I thought they escaped that initial burn. Like maybe they got dealt with by debris, but I would have assumed that Darren was able to stand up Because they showed Gwayne crawling and saying Daeron's name. So we don't know if he was crawling towards someone who he physically saw was Daeron, or if he was just crawling like, inadvertently and just haphazardly.
We don't know.
looking
That's the
for him.
truth. We don't know.
So we don't know. But
We don't
We'll
know,
have to
yeah.
see.
But yeah, I guess.
But I think it was intentional that they did that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that it's inconclusive because I was really hoping that we would get to see more of him. So now, at the very least, this is Schrodinger's Daeron. There is there's a chance.
Daeron.
There's a chance that
I
we'll
like
see him in the
that.
next season.
Yeah, so I like that.
So yeah, I'm cool with that. So at this point, let's quickly run through the adaptometer.
Okay. So the first item on the adaptometer is just Tumbleton in general.
Oof. Well,
this could involve like Corlys being captured. It could become Gwayne, who was never at Tumbleton in the books. It could be anything.
And Corlys was never there. Daemon was never there. So clearly they
Daemon
made
was
some
never
choices here.
They made
Do
some
we feel
choices.
like these
and
choices contributed in a good way?
I like the choices. I like the
Beautiful.
choices. It created, because in the books as well, Tumbleton was chaotic, but for different reasons, right?
Mhm.
And it still brought that same sense of chaos to the show, and also put some of our favorite characters in.
So that there were
that
real
chaos.
stakes.
There were real stakes, yes. So I liked the adaptation of Tumbleton. I would give it a plus.
Same. I give it 2 pluses, honestly. I loved it. The most chaos I've ever seen in House of the Dragon.
I wish the writing didn't have to stall so much in the other episodes just to get here.
Yeah.
To be honest. Because I mean, I'll touch on that in a second, I guess. But yeah, I like what they did with Tumbleton personally.
Yeah.
What's next?
Then Ulf's motivations. Because in
That's
the
a
books,
tricky one,
we don't
right?
know
Because
why Ulf switched.
Yeah, we don't know fully. Like, we don't know the circumstances, I think, in the source material, but we do know that it's because he wanted more. He wanted a lordship. It's just like small folk greed, or I guess up jumped cutthroat type of greed, like what Ormond was talking about, where it's like you don't want a striver on your side, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, Ormond obviously played things poorly, because if you know that you have that, what you now have on your side is a striver, maybe you should, treat them better. I don't know.
Treat them, not slap them in the streets.
Yeah,
this whole thing, slapping people in the
fuck out
streets,
of them.
like it takes real audacity. Like, you really have to truly disrespect somebody to be in full plate and gloves
Full
and
plate,
gauntlet,
man.
and you're slapping somebody around, kicking them. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, the bro was still naked when they were kicking him. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
It really is.
Yeah, so I think they adapted the whole thing on Ulf better, or well, because we get to see the real circumstances around it. We get to, I mean, this whole idea of him having been drunk and all that, and him contributing to the battle and destroying the town, not just because the blacks did something to me, but because like Ormond has also tried to make a fool of me. It also makes me think about where we're going next with Ulf, because now Ulf is not Team Black or Team Green, he's just Team Ulf. So you have this random guy who hates everyone and has a dragon.
Team Whites, Ulf the Whites.
Team White, yeah.
Team Whites.
Yeah, I wonder where they're going to go with his character next season also. It could go so many ways, but no matter what, we know he's alone. I don't think there's any redemption from any side for someone like him. I can even see the blacks. Imagine the blacks and the reds reunite just to kill off.
Well, I mean,
the blacks and the greens. Yeah.
The blacks and the greens,
I'd be okay
and
with
the
that.
reds in this case too.
Yeah, I think the reds are done. I'm throwing in the towel, bro. With
Ormond being gone, yes.
Yeah.
With Ormond taking the northern style. Yes.
Man, that death scene was crazy, because he did I mean, they combined some things there, right? Because Roddy's arm does get cut off in the book, but not by Ormond. But they showed Ormond at least being able to throw hands a little bit. But then the fact that he was that it was blood being splattered on his face that still distracted him. I love how they continue to use that as, as a fatal flaw, like a core weakness, an Achilles heel, really. I think is what James Norton, who plays the character so well, called it. And James Norton, fantastic. Like, bro, for someone to show up and take the antagonistic role of the season so well, like
this late also.
yeah, just amazing. Like
Crazy.
he had one season in him and he did a fantastic job. So shout out James Norton, truly.
Truly.
What's next on the?
That's a plus for me. Wait, is that a plus for all of us? I'm assuming
That's a
two
plus
pluses
for
for
me.
me.
I think it's a plus for me.
All right. Mysaria's story, because her being fired in the books, in the source material, she's not fired. So
I think it sits well within Rhaenyra's turn. It'll be a plus for me.
It's a plus for me because it's such a bad decision in my viewpoint for Rhaenyra. So it's a plus.
Which sits well within her history of bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the characterization.
Yeah, keep your enemies close, except when you don't.
I'm honestly kind of neutral, but I'm leaning towards positive. So yeah, I think we can give it a plus.
Okay. Then Rhaenyra's coronation, because none of that happened in the source material.
Yes. I think that was a good choice on their part. Them trying to be like, okay, let's give Rhaenyra something to do so that it's not as if this battle is raging in Tumbleton and then King's Landing is just like a quiet paradise. So that would have been weird tonally. So I think that was a good choice as far as the writing was concerned.
Absolutely.
The decisions she made, I mean, we've already litigated those completely. So this is really just a matter of whether it was good for the episode and good for our understanding of the character, as well as where the narrative is going, because that's technically what adaptation is. So I think that it does a good job in both those things. So I'm willing to give it a plus.
It does an amazing job in both those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a plus too. I'm assuming so now you two are a plus.
That's a plus for me. Yep.
Yeah. And then the last one is well, first of all, we're like all been pluses for everything.
Yeah, I think we really liked this episode.
We really like this episode, yeah. Okay. Aegon
I know
and
some
Aemon.
people won't, to be honest. And
actually tweet me.
They will.
I'm sorry. Don't
honestly, that actually leads me to a question. Right? I mean, but actually, before I ask that question, the last thing on the docket, I'm guessing, is Aegon and
Aemon
thing, right? Yeah. So
I'm alive. Let's go.
That answers where we are on that.
Me, man. That's a plus.
That's just a plus.
That line alone.
We've already explained why that's a plus. So yeah, that's a plus. Yeah. So I think we don't
need to get to that.
I think this was a good adaptation. But let me ask my question now. What would you guys say to people who claim and believe strongly, because they're so caught up in how the source material did things, and for them a good adaptation is just one-to-one conversion? What would you say to people who feel that way and people who feel like this episode was spectacle over substance?
That's fair. The thing to say to them is that everything is made up, nigga, stay woke. The source material is made up, so this can be made up too. As long as it's good, we're chilling. So
here's the thing, right? I don't think adaptations need to be one-to-one conversions. I do think that whatever parameters they set, they need to follow through with those things, right? And this leads me to, I guess, what I think is going to be our final point here, which is how the whole season worked as a whole. And, maybe this is something we can talk about another time as well. But I'm just thinking about the way certain things were done, right? I think this episode wasn't just spectacle over substance. I think some people will be like, oh, well, this didn't happen the way it was supposed to. This person's motivations don't make sense. And I think a lot of those people, they will just end up sounding like, I'm just mad that this didn't happen the way I thought it would happen. And that's just not a good place to be arguing from. What I will say, though, is that as far as the actual story is concerned and the things that they converted, I'm looking at story beats. Like, lest we forget, Alys is in this episode for all of 10 seconds. So I'm thinking about those butterflies, and it made me wonder, like, okay, is this like her feeling that Helaena is gone, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's what that's supposed to symbolize.
Yeah, I believe that is what that was supposed to be, right? But I'm thinking about Alys's storyline. And, I know I said last week, right, that Daemon is Team Black's greatest asset. But there's actually somebody who has been much more instrumental in securing whatever little success Rhaenyra's side was able to achieve this season. And that is Alys. Because all the different things she opened the gates. She offered up Aegon. She went herself to kill Aemon, right?
And almost succeeded.
Like all the different things she had done that, I feel if they had gone a different way, would have kept her at least a little bit more narratively faithful to her book counterpart. I feel like what they've done with Alicent, if there's anything that maybe I'm not entirely sure it works, is that, because it's just a completely different person now. I think like it's a completely different person. For example, look at when like the gates were opened. She could have maybe not surrendered so easily, right? Or she could have at least tried to put up a fight, right? And just tried to explain wearing Gucci and Fendi with Helaena. And then, you know, when fake Daemon is brought, she could have actually helped her side by saying, look, yeah, that's my son. And Helaena, and then like literally he would have just been sent to the wall. And then that would have given Rhaenyra's enemies time to actually figure out what was going on and like regroup. But she didn't do that. She's just like, all right, Helaena and I need to leave. Like her whole motivation this season was Helaena and I need to leave. But it's like,
I know.
Is that really the best way to do this? So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And it's a little confusing to me. I don't know. So I feel like, you know, even her not immediately revealing certain things to Rhaenyra, especially about Helena's pregnancy, you know, I feel like that may have been better, because if they had done it that way, let's just say with the fake Daemon thing, for example, she could have been like, okay, yeah, like these people are distracted, they're down, we should use this chance to escape. And maybe that would have been a better escape attempt than what they attempted in episode 5, right? So I don't know. And even when I think of Mysaria, right? Mysaria, they probably could have had her doing more. Like I know it's funny because we gave her a quality review for her job last episode. And literally in the next episode, she gets fired.
She's fired.
Because she's so bad.
And they were like, and I'm like, oh no, don't get fired.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
But they could have had her doing more.
And it's over.
She could have been trying, for example, to, you know, do maybe her job, like dismantling Ormond's spy network, for example. Just trying to
she
was definitely doing a job.
A job.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens with that character. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, according to my calculations at least, it may be fair to say that barely anything would change if we remove the entire Rhaenyra ship stealer plotline from the season.
Okay, no, because I think something is coming next season where that's going to be key.
I can only hope because
Daemon didn't kill Sheep Stealer.
Yes,
that in itself.
Okay, so you think we'll still see that dragon again?
Coming. Unless like they kill Sheep Stealer off screen, which I don't think they would have. I think something is coming next season.
Man, I don't know. Bran Condal also killed Stannis off screen, so
no, but that one wasn't off screen. We saw.
Yes,
like,
it was.
We saw Brienne slash the sword. They didn't just show.
Oh, you mean Benioff and Weiss with Stannis, like in season 5?
Yeah.
We saw
so it
Brienne.
was Benioff and Weiss. Sorry, I'm blaming every bad thing on Condal. That's my bad.
You're not the only
one. in that season, the off-screen Stannis. So why not here too?
They did off-screen. We saw the swing. They just didn't show his body, but we saw this. We saw the swing.
We always see bodies, man. It was curious that we didn't.
I don't know, man. Just because, first of all, Rhaenyra being so convinced that Rhaenyra would kill her in the first place. Like, when I think about it, is like, Rhaenyra is not that person. Maybe she's that person now, but she wasn't then.
Now she is.
Yeah. She wasn't
now,
then.
Yeah.
Because if she had come back and joined the fray, you know, they could have had her as part of the search for Vhagar. There would have been more for Rhaenyra to do throughout the season. So, and on some level, it even feels weird to some degree that Rhaenyra barely fought for Sheep Stealer. Like, she kind of just complied.
Just
like,
left her,
Like, I mean, obviously, she couldn't put up too much of a fight. There was nothing, there's not too much to do in that situation. But I feel like just emotionally, the compliance was a bit weird. Like, flying away and shouting, no. It's like,
no.
Okay, well, yeah, and Sheep Stealer himself now feels abandoned. I have a feeling that if you go to Sheep Stealer again, it's just going to burn you. But I don't know.
Like you should have in the beginning.
I mean, bonding with a dragon is the thing that she's wanted most in life, and she kind of just like let that go more easily than I would have expected. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. But yeah, I think that's everything. My only other gripes with the season as a whole, I think, is maybe there were probably too many like assault attempts on women throughout the season. Maybe just a bit too, because Jasper Wilde in episode 2 with Alicent, that didn't amount to anything.
That one specifically,
and
made
then
no
Alys
sense.
in episode 6, when those people were trying to come for Aemond, right? That one that was like, oh, I'll make you my salt wife. even like
I mean,
the
but
stuff that
that's
Hugh's
in,
wife
that's in
went through
character
off
for
screen.
Hugh's wife makes sense in the narrative, I'd say. You know,
It does, and I'm
in
to
order
some degree, and I'm
to-
glad they didn't show it at the very least.
yeah,
I'm
in
glad
order
that
to justify,
because it wasn't
you know,
gratuitous, but the Jasper Wellgone with
Yeah.
Alicent still bugs me a
that
little bit.
one specifically, I would say yes.
To
that
me,
one,
that one
felt
didn't seem the
unnecessary.
gratuitous because it was just like 5 episodes ago she was like ruling the kingdom, and now she has no power,
Yeah,
and then people are just barging into her room and like assaulting her. It's
insanity,
like,
absolute
crazy.
insanity.
it's just showing how low she's fallen.
Oh, but wow, guys, this is it. Too. Like we
Yeah, it's
we
crazy.
have reached the end, and now it's like, okay, what do we do?
What do we do now? I'm that meme of Pablo Escobar where he's just like looking out.
Hey man,
Just
you know
looking
what
into
we
the
do
distance.
next? Ignite of
Night
the
of the
Seven
Seven
Kingdoms
Kingdoms.
season
Kingdoms,
2.
yeah,
Let's
season 2.
go.
Yeah, they are actually working on that already, and
They just finished shooting. They said,
Mhm.
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm excited to get
which is
back
crazy
to
because
our
like
boy
that just shows you how
Duncan
tenacious they are. Because apparently they had to deal with some weather issues, but like they still managed to get it done. So yeah, I truly appreciate what they've done there. Well done to those
I'm
guys.
excited for that show to
Well
be
done to
back.
everyone
Yeah,
involved.
same.
Yeah, this has been good. Thank you guys. Like this has been a great season. I guess we're just gonna have to wait until we get that show, and I guess House of Dragons season 4 will be coming in 2028. They better keep that promise because
Yeah.
maybe, hopefully, even earlier than that. And of course, we've gotten the announcement of Aegon's Conquest, the movie. So
Yes.
that's going to be something. I love that it's written by Bill Willimon, who is amazing. Just gonna watch House of Cards if you don't believe me. And
Yeah, beautiful.
Or Andor.
Andor, yeah.
So yeah, that oh god.
Look how
Yeah.
he's cheesing.
What
He's cheesing.
Andor does to a guy, man. If you haven't watched Andor, go watch Andor, man.
Just okay. Anyway, it is well. So yeah, on that note, thank you all for being here up until this point. Please check out everything else that we're covering. We have just released an episode on Spider-Man Brand New Day where Bankole, Osegale, and Tatiana break down the movie as best they can, and trust me, they've done an amazing job. MCU 12 is still going to be coming out. We have a few interesting things up our sleeve coming up in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. But I guess until next time, Fire and Blood.
Yo, guys. Appreciate y'all, man.
What a season.